gentlemen, this is RT3, or Review Team 3, joining you today on this adventure we call life. But this adventure is not complete without my fellow comrades and colleagues. So, first we have
Feem.
And of course we unfortunately have that other guy.
Think you mean fortunately, you have the ever-present and ever-dashing CC Trainer Ling.
Choose your episode. Snipmates.
Now that we know what episode it is, let's check it out.
Check it out!
This week's episode is Snipmates. The plot here is Blythe goes to Fashion University North to compete on the fashion competition show called Snipmates, and goes head-to-head with her hyper-competitive and former FUN roommate, McKenna Nicole. Meanwhile, at LPS, Sugar Sprinkles goes into a furious rage for not having her sprinkles on her head, and the pets have to calm her down and get the sprinkles back on her head before she destroys both them and the Day King.
Yeah, so I guess the first positive we can discuss would probably have to be Blythe on this one. She was pretty good in this episode, actually.
Yes, the fact that she finally can go on TV and not freeze up under pressure is really good. It really shows how far she's come in terms of her camera shyness since Season 1 and a little bit of Season 2. And moving forward, she's no longer afraid of it.
Yeah, I also noticed this. Season 2, she was slowly getting better because in Commercial Success, she appeared in front of the camera, even though it's briefly. But now she's willing to do a full show, so kudos to you, Blythe. Well done for getting over your fears.
Absolutely. But considering the fact that this is a fashion reality show, there's really nothing to be afraid of, because this is her niche. This is where, no matter how many cameras are on her, she knows she's not gonna mess up. And considering all the things that she was able to make, like parachute pants, a marshmallow skirt, and of course some very impeccable looking flight uniforms, you gotta admit, there's just no pressure for her. No pressure in doing what you love in front of millions and millions of people.
Yes, it was her millhouse. Okay, it's not what she actually said, but I'm just gonna say that that's what she said, because it sounded like that. I thought she said millhouse, I was like, what?
And to actually have her fashion design go on to become a winner of the episode, it just once again shows that she's really climbing her way to the top. To actually get one of her designs featured in the shop of Blabbity Blah, to get it displayed in the front window, next to being on the cover of the Trade Blase magazine from the Pet Fashion Expo, getting your own window display. How do you like that?
I thought the design that she used for Mona's cape, I thought that was really cute. I really liked that cape. I was just thinking, I wish I could have one.
Not at the moment.
And it was actually nice in this episode because we actually get to see more of Mona's fashion that I don't think we've seen before this episode. So it was nice that Blythe show off some of Mona's more simple but very effectively classy fashion choices.
Through a slideshow that she must have taken during some assistance required, but makes you wonder who was taking the pictures.
Cairo.
That's it.
Phoebe.
Cairo Kingston. She was taking pictures. Blythe was like, Cairo, it would be great if you could take some pictures because I feel like I'm going to be in a competition later and these pictures might do some good, like for a slideshow.
Okay, I guess just for you, I'll take the pictures.
Well, that's probably what happened.
I'll also tell you what else happened. McKenna Nicole made her return.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who else thought that we'd never see her again after missing Blythe?
I thought we might see her again. I honestly thought we'd see her sooner than what we did, but I'm glad we got to see her again because I liked her in Missing Blythe, but oh my, she got better. She was way more interesting in this episode, way more hilarious too. Her sass. She was just sassy as hell in this episode. It's just sugar plum. Sabotaging Blythe and how she went about it was really funny.
I'm going to be honest with you guys, I kind of already knew that that's what they were going to go for with this character, especially how they introduced her in the Fashion University, but I was like, hey, they did it. Cool. I was right.
Yeah, and I like the idea of them introducing her because I wish she was maybe introduced earlier because it's nice that we have another villain for Blythe to be up against. And this is I think Bacon said in a call with me that she's like the fashion villain Blythe has to battle against now because we had Ramon, now we have McKenna.
Because really, Ramon wasn't much, because I mean, he just stole the designs, but McKenna, she would actually, in the competition, was doing things, you know.
She was what the French call a saboteur.
She was doing heel tactics, you know. But of course, you can't beat. She never loses clean in fashion.
Well, McKenna makes the perfect saboteur, but original saboteurs, the Biskits.
Yes, the Biskits. The two you'd really think would be the ones to sabotage Blythe like they did at the Pet Fashion Expo, but not this time. You would think so, but no. We get McKenna, and the Biskits actually, dare I actually say, have a desire to help Blythe win this competition.
Yeah, I don't know, it reminded me of Vegeta, what he does with Goku in a sense, where it's like, you know, if anyone's gonna beat you or humiliate you, it's gonna be me, or in their case, us. So we're gonna help you out, you know?
I was reminded of Angelica in the Rugrats Paris, when she was like, nobody picks on these babies but me. It's like, you always have that one character who's like, they do that good thing for the characters that they usually pick on because they want to be the only ones. But I think it goes deeper than that. Deeper.
It always goes back to the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. In this case, Blythe was their friend for all of one episode, and this little, joining of forces, if I can even say that, had a very good payoff. And you could tell that Whitney was sort of, right at the end, a little impressed with that jacket cape that Blythe made for Mona. You can tell in her voice that she thought it was adorable.
She only won because of us, and not like because that cape was cute or anything.
Or whatever.
Or whatever. Yeah, the Biskits look really good in this episode. Well, I think they're good in most episodes already anyway, but it's nice to see them. They didn't have to help Blythe. I think, in a way, they actually did it because they wanted to help her. Because, yes, in a way, this could be, you could argue this is them paying Blythe back for Blythe helping them way back in Penny for Your Laughs with Vi. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, but the Biskits were pretty good. What I really liked was that they really actually were participating, at least for what they could. I find it commendable. I mean, they were trying to make parachute pants, but they just couldn't do it, you know? And I guess that's something that I really like, especially that they didn't... Of course, they couldn't have, like, Francois make the items for them, but they still tried, and they weren't even... I guess it didn't even come across them to sabotage Blythe at all.
Yeah, considering that Fisher is paying for them to be on TV, the girls are on their own for this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, it's really cool to see the Biskits kind of turn face for an episode.
I hope we get to see more and more of this, because I think so far this season we've seen the Biskits have some really good moments of Blythe, and in their own biscuity way, sort of teaching Blythe certain things. We had it in Spendthrifty, with in their own way of teaching Blythe that she should try and earn her money herself. And we also had them in Senior Day as a frenemy sort of attitude. Because I really hope more will come out of this. And also, I've also noticed with the Biskits recently this season is that they haven't tried to sabotage the shop once.
Yeah, they really haven't done anything really too bad. I guess they still maybe be like Blythe because, of course, if it wasn't for Blythe, they wouldn't have kept their chinchillas. If it wasn't for Blythe, they would have never met, that, what's the band called? The Soul Patches? Well, I mean, they had them at their birthday, but then, have them again, at the Pet Fest.
Yeah, they actually got to meet Jason #1.
And they share a lot of things that they like in common, so, I don't know, I hope they're friends later on in the series, but maybe I'm thinking too high on that.
Even if they're not, we still had a good little run with them.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
Well, speaking of other characters in this episode, we come to Sugar Sprinkles, but not just for the character, but for her songs that she has.
Yeah, Sugar Sprinkles had, I'm not gonna have the most popular opinion here, but honestly, that song that she sang when she was upset was probably my favorite song of the season so far.
And it was only 10 seconds.
Might be the funniest. I mean, and also, I will also kind of, in a sense, agree with you also, I like some of the other songs, like Stars in the Sky and High Time, but I think out of the other ones, that one's definitely one of the better ones.
I think I'd rank the Pain and Suffering song at number 3 in the season, but I'm not sure where I'd rank the Fashion Moves Real Fast song.
Well, yeah, I guess it was just like any other song that she had, kind of like short, but it was nice, but we can't put it that high up. I mean, with this one, with, the Pain and Suffering song, that one was, again, more in like a minor tone, and I don't know, it just got like really funny, especially at the end when she started saying that, and the meteors.
Moon, come crashing down!
Well, watching that earlier today, and I just had to pause it on that moment and just get a screenshot of her smashing her little ukulele.
She's smashing her one and only other ukulele. Back in Secret Cupid, Russell stole the first one, then she whips out another one from out of nowhere. Now she smashes the other one that she had. And then she repairs it right at the end with all that use of tape.
That's duct tape. Fixes anything. But, I don't know, I kind of wanted it to be a metal version, maybe.
Pain and suffering, pain and suffering.
I think with Sugar Sprinkle's attitude in this episode, I think she was fully capable of making a heavy metal version of her song.
So I wonder how that would go, like...
Pain and suffering. Pain and suffering. Pain and suffering. Go!
That maybe?
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Hey, Bergie.
But not even the songs can really save us from the pet plot.
Yes, at this point we will dive into the negatives. While Sugar Sprinkles was great, because, honestly, how is she ever going to be a negative? And her song was really good. I don't know, the pet plot itself just kind of could have been resolved faster, maybe? It just wasn't... I guess it was just there to fill time, possibly. It's
another example of where the B-plot could have just been a one-off Hasbro short and nothing more than that.
Yeah, I thought the Sugar Sprinkles was pretty funny in the pet plot, but it took a little bit too long, and by the time everything started happening, the shop was basically destroyed, and I don't know how they fixed that at the end, because if Mrs. Twombly saw that, they'd freak out. So, I don't know whether the pets decided to fix it, I don't know.
Again, how many times is the shop going to be destroyed until Miss Twombly's like, you know what, this is like, you guys are being crazy here,
I'm closing down shop because of this.
Well, not that. Maybe
I know.
Not gonna have a camera or something there, or maybe keep an eye on it.
For all she knows, they could have been robbed or something.
Yeah, because if she were to come in and see all this, it's like freaking out.
And also, this is one of those moments where she conveniently doesn't come in.
It's Mrs. Twombly, in her music room.
Yeah, apparently. Tweeting her Kung Fu quilting memes or something.
She's done this many times before. Things happen in the pet shop. She doesn't pay attention. Not important. So let's just move on to more of this pet plot here. Operation Resprinkle. I want everyone to look at how Russell divides the teams into Vinny and Sunil on one team to get the sprinkles, and Zoe, Pepper, Minka, and Penny in a separate team just to be the distraction. Now, before this review, Bacon pointed out how it's really weird how you get the two most incompetent pets to do the most important task.
Yeah.
I know where they chose Minka to do distractions because she was so good at it in one of the other episodes, but seriously, Pepper and Zoe could have probably got the sprinkles, and wouldn't it make more sense to have the two characters like Vinny and Sunil be distractions also? Sunil could have distracted them with his magic and all that sort of stuff, and Vinny with his dancing, so that didn't make sense that Russell decided that they would get the sugar sprinkles.
And how is it that they don't even know what sprinkles are? I mean, they have been in Sweet Delights. They were in the pantry. They were on the Sweet Delights truck. How do you not know what the sprinkles are after all this time of actually eating and seeing them?
Yeah, and heck, Vinny actually licks the sprinkles. So, shouldn't he know what they look like?
Yeah, but he's with Sunil, so Sunil should know it also.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wasn't just saying Vinny, but yeah, Sunil also should know.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if Vinny, being Vinny, forgot or something, Sunil should have known, but neither of them knew.
Well, let's just think about it for a second, folks. Vinny is smart enough to draw a very nice duck picture when it comes to drawing straws, but he doesn't know the difference between crushed cookies and sugar sprinkles!
Well, he's with Sunil again, so yeah, we can, say that Vinny doesn't know, but it's like, come on, Sunil too?
Yeah. Sunil hasn't really, unlike Vinny, Sunil hasn't really shown signs of not knowing certain things. But Vinny is smart and he doesn't know it, but Sunil doesn't really do that sort of thing usually. He usually knows stuff. They're both at fault here, in my opinion.
And so the one final thing I want to talk about this pet plot is just the idea of Sugar Sprinkles completely losing her mind just because the sprinkles are not on her head, let alone sprinkles not on her head in the correct arrangement. Doesn't it just seem a little strange that a cat with sprinkles on their head is the difference between a normal, sane, totally relaxed, chillin' cat and a completely hulkified feline on the fritz?
Why not, I guess? Because I don't get it. They have to be in the right order. She's just, in this batch of sprinkles. At least that's when we first see her, like in this drawer filled with sprinkles. So why does it have to be in the right order? I thought she'd just be on her, maybe, and that would count.
Tapping. That's
basically it. They were like, oh man, we only got like 20 minutes. We need 22. Man, we gotta put them in the right order. That's it. Yeah, that could work.
I was actually thinking that when they put sprinkles on the first time, I was thinking that maybe the whole thing, it wasn't the sprinkles that was upsetting her, something else was. Yeah. I don't know, I think, honestly, that's what I was expecting. Something else to be upsetting her, because I think just the sprinkles, I don't know, for her to react that way, I kind of thought there was probably going to be a bit more to it than that.
There's just little material to work off of. And speaking of little material, we come to Blythe's cape jacket that she designs for Mona in the final round of Snipmates. And this is where Mona gives Blythe and McKenna these little pile of material, not a lot. And so, for Blythe to keep it simple, she keeps it simple by making a cape that just... How was it made like that?
I don't know. Like, if you look at the items that Mona Auden gave him, how does she make that cape? I mean, you can say, oh, Blythe is the fashion prodigy or whatever. I don't know, whatever.
I assume they got to use other fabrics as well, because where did McKenna get all that other fabric?
Yeah, wait, so she got all that other fabric, but I guess just used the other fabric, because you saw her with the dress and then, like, the thing that Mona gave her, and then just threw it down. I was like, look, I have this other cape. I made it myself.
Yeah. Did they, wasn't the point of the episode to just use what they're given? That's what I kind of thought. So that got a bit confusing. So they were allowed to use other fabrics. They were just supposed to base it off the items they were given?
Yeah, they were supposed to use the items that were given. McKenna did, Blythe didn't. So technically, McKenna should have won because she actually used the items. I didn't see the dress or the little horn thing or that. What was the other thing? That notebook in Blythe's outfit. So, technically, by rules or whatever, she should have lost.
Yeah, but I didn't really incorporate any of the design, other than the fact that it was a cape and that she had the other cape. That's about as close as she got. Whereas, McKenna, she did add the horns and all that to the dress. I actually didn't think McKenna's dress looked that bad for what it was either.
But no matter what, Blythe is declared the winner, and she gets her jacket on the front window display of blah 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 for a nice 10 seconds, and then we get fish bowls.
Yeah, what's the worst part about that? No one else actually got to see it. Blythe was there like, oh, look at that, isn't it cool, pets? And boom, it got replaced. So we don't know for exactly how long or how many people saw it, but probably not that many.
So it kind of feels like so basically, you go through all this hard work, all this backstabbing and betrayal, and having to really work with very little to achieve a really great honor, and it only lasts 10 seconds. I mean, I understand that, in the world of fashion, trends come and go very, very fast, but I think 10 seconds is just... You're hitting the nail on the head, and I get that, but you're really banging the hammer way too hard, and the nail is being driven in a little bit too hard.
The ending I thought was going to happen was the Biskits, because they said they shop at Blah Blah's, and that Whitney said that she thought the cape was cute. I thought we were going to see the Biskits walking down past the shop wearing the cape, or walking out of the shop wearing the cape. I think that would have been a much funnier, better ending, because they do this a little bit too much at the moment. The whole ending it's like they go through all this stuff for it to just sort of fail.
Well, not fail, but more like nothing really huge came out of it. No one really got to see it. No one really got to enjoy it. Blythe really never got to bask in the glory of people finally seeing her stuff in this window display. Just a lot of wasted potential here. And it could have gone in different directions, like you said with the Biskits, walking out of the shop as Blythe was leaving, with, the Biskits wearing the jacket that, they secretly did love, but they just failed to capitalize capitalize on it, and it would have been a great ending right there.
Yeah, they could have actually... they could have had the Biskit twins actually, like, maybe have the jacket or buy the jacket. Or, I don't know, maybe they can do that in a later episode where it turns out that they actually bought the jacket. That's the only way they can fix this ending, in a sense. Ladies and gentlemen, looking at this episode, again, this one is better than the previous episodes because a lot of the things from the previous episodes were negative, while this one had its fair share of positives and negatives. So, again, it's a breath of fresh air, but not by too much. So, me right now, I'm going to give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. It's a good one. Just, there's things here and there that, again, missed opportunities, which seems to be a reoccurring theme this season.
Yes, so my final thoughts then, guys. I agree with Bacon. There's missed opportunities, which some of these things that they build up to end with not much achieved drama. Like, I suppose in the sense of Sneal and Vinny's sandcastle from last week's episode, since that didn't really amount to anything. But, I guess at least Blythe won, so that's a plus. Biskits, McKenna, in my opinion, were probably and Blythe and Sugar Sprinkles, they were really good in this episode. Especially McKenna, in my opinion, and the Biskits. I think they were the ones that really stole the show for me. Other than a few of the minor problems with, I guess, the ending, mainly for me, and some of the pep plot. So, other than that, this one was pretty good to me, and it's definitely much nicer to see that the episodes have improved a little bit since the last few ones we reviewed, and this review seems to be a little bit more positive. There's a little bit more good things that happened in this episode. I'm actually going to rate this one quite highly. I'm actually going to rate this a 9.8, because I really enjoyed it. There's only a few issues with it, but other than that, it was a really great episode.
Originally watching Snipmates for the first time when it first aired, I really just couldn't think of anything to say after watching the episode, except maybe...
Okay, somebody bury this.
But after rewatching the episode a few more times, I realized that it's really not as bad as I had thought. Seeing this other side of McKenna is sort of similar to what we have with Delilah in Pitch Perfect. You don't really know much about them in their first episode, but getting another episode with them, it shows that they're more fleshed out. There's more to learn about them. And yeah, we learn that McKenna is this very competitive girl, and she'll do whatever it takes to win. So even though I'm not really a big fan of that, I still greatly respect her character for fleshing out who she is. Blythe, to make it this far in her fashion career, if you will, is really great. She managed to win, but again, just 10 seconds of fame, just really wasted ending, just not really the best ending that they've done in the series so far. But it was really great to see the Biskits actually wanting to help Blythe win against, current enemy of that episode, McKenna. And it was very, well, once again, respected. And I really hope that we see more of this joining of forces between Blythe and the Biskits later on towards the end of the series, because I think this opens up a lot of doors to other good storylines. But just as far as this episode's storylines go, the A-plot with Blythe was great, but the pep plot, again, just really bad, not the best that they've done in the past 4 seasons. Could have been better, just one big sugar sprinkly mess. So, I guess to sum it all up, the episode, not too bad, not too great, so I'll give it a firm but fair 7.5 out of 10.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this experience that is RT3. So, this review is now concluded, and we'll be joining you guys for the next episode, which will be Guilt Trippin'. So, we'll see you there. So, this is RT3 signing out.
Peace out, home slices.
Cheerio, sugar plums.
And, of course, pet shoppers, we'll be seeing you in the next episode. So, thanks, and say it with me now. Thanks again. Pain and suffering, pain and suffering. Ah.